Hello and welcome to BVTV Between Ends. I'm Jimmy Whitehead, joined as always by Josh Thornton. How you going, pal?
Good, Jimmy. Yeah, no, we're up at Bendigo this week for Bendigo Country Week. BV team trying to do the organisation proud. We've done half all right so far, but we're probably need to do a little better today. But obviously, it's finals time right around the state. We've had some grand finals last weekend. We've had finals right around the area, and setting up for a cracking weekend in Melbourne for our Division 1 grand final that's going to be streamed, as well as our Premier Division grand final.
The big day, mate. So Divi 1 will kick off in the morning, the grand final, and then we'll lead into the Premier League. So Deer Park, Melbourne's our Premier League grand final. Deer Park doing what we thought they would do last week and getting I want to call it a comfortable win over MCC. I think MCC pulled them back to about 7 shots at one stage. Sort of said to Gus on commentary, here we go, this could get interesting, but they just got a couple of numbers and shut it down. Deer Park. The experience at the back end of their team is phenomenal, and they just managed that game exceptionally well. Melbourne came through the hard way, had to beat Bundoora, did so convincingly on the Saturday. They were very up and about, very at Bundoora from the early mark and dominated, to be honest. And then did the complete reversal way in the
yeah, they started behind that game against MCC, and I was checking the stream intermittently throughout the afternoon. There was a lot of bowls going on around the state, so I was checking grand finals here and finals here, and I noticed they were down, and then I thought all of a sudden the score started ticking over for Melbourne. I thought, here you go, that they got that momentum. They're probably up and about, and as it turns out, they got over the line, and I'm happy to say that I predicted this grand final at the start of the season. It's one of the few things I got right for the year, So, and I think it shapes up to be a great match. And our live stream match is going to be Mark Casey versus Matty Elo, So two cracking skippers, two cracking rinks. We've got Alex Marshall versus Brett Spur.
Yep.
We've got James Pearce versus
Betty Fernan.
Yep. And then the last one is Ryan Tate versus Bryce Young.
Yep.
4 cracking matches, And I mean, on paper, in my opinion, these have been the 2 teams you probably want to see come grand final time, and we've got our wish.
Yeah, look, for me, there's a couple of standouts on this game. Mark Casey, Matty Elo ring. That back-end battle is going to be real good. So Mark Casey's done it all, won everything, played for Australia against Matty Elo, who's a big game player, has played numerous games for state, has won a lot himself. He'll rise to this occasion, so that'll be phenomenal. The third battle is going to be ridiculous as well. Alex Skilton for Melbourne has been on heat this season. He's going to go up against Nathan Bush, who is state skipper for Victoria, as good as it gets as a 3 in Premier League. So that battle's going to be really interesting. Watch out Brett Spur. If he's got his little bandana on, his Street Fighter bandana, he'll beat anyone. So him against Alex Marshall will be phenomenal. I just think this game will go down. I'm going to call it now. It will go down to the last end. This is an 84 end game that every single end will count, and it will go down to the last end. I'm calling it that. I think someone will be chasing a 3 or 4 on the last end, and we're in for a barnstormer. Stay with us. We've got Mark Casey, head of bowls operations at Deer Park, and Bryce Young, the coach from Melbourne, joining us shortly for a chat. It'd be great to get some insight into how the teams are shaping up for the weekend. So stay with us for that, and we'll be back shortly. I'm joined by the head of bowls operations from Deer Park, Mark Casey. Case, how you going, mate?
Yeah, good, Jimmy. How are you, mate?
Going all right, buddy. We're up here in Country Week in Bendigo. Josh is teaching us a bit of a bowling lesson. Talking of bowling lessons, how are you guys going this week? How are you preparing for the big day Sunday?
Yeah, it's been good so far. We've obviously got our carpet back here up and running, so that's been quite handy for us. So getting a couple of sessions here at our home club, but we've also had a few boys go out to Dandenong the last couple of nights. So it's been really good, and I think we've got a big session planned for Saturday. So all systems going well so far.
Obviously, you come back to Victoria this year, Case, first time in about nearly 20 years. You changed a lot at Deer Park. Did you foresee this happening, or did you think it was going to be a couple of steps to it, or in terms of making a grand final in year 1?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like, obviously, we've got a lot of talent, but I did think it would probably take 2 or 3 years for us to combine so well. But I could sort of sense at early days that things were going a bit quicker than what we thought. Players were playing really well, and there's just been no issues all year. So we were able to sort of fast track that a little bit, and it's all happening in year 1. So fingers crossed, we've made it so far, but obviously the job's not done yet. So big day on Sunday.
Where do you see your strength lying, Mark? Like when I look at your side, your back end's obviously pretty formidable. You've got some huge names yourself, Nathan Bush playing third, the GOAT, Alex Marshall. But I feel your front end wins your games. Like some of your leads have been on fire this year. So where do you see your strength?
No, I think you're right. I think the depth that we've got, you look across even the leads and seconds, you guys like Larry Donahue, Pebbles has gone back to lead now and doing a good job. Kobe's second half of the year, Kobe Crombie, the young kid, has gone extremely well. So I think our depth is really good. But as you say, the back end is quite strong too, as is Melbourne and a few of the other main clubs. So I think across the board, we're pretty even and we're just forming a really, really good team.
And what do you see? I'm putting you on a spot here, but Melbourne's strengths, obviously, they're probably the team to beat from last year, being the fact that they're last year's winners. How do you think you're going to beat them? What's going to be the key to beating them?
Oh, I guess that's a tough question. Melbourne are a class act. You don't make grand finals back to back for no reason. So they're going to be really tough. I think their big thing that they go to is the noise that they make when they're up and about. They can get on a bit of a roll. So that's something that we've been talking about. So sort of how to stop that a little bit quicker than what we probably would normally. So, I think they're a great side. They've got good skips, good thirds, and right down to the front end, they're quite consistent. So it's going to be a tough battle, but hopefully we're up for it.
I won't put you on the spot, mate, and ask for a prediction because I know what the answer is going to be anyway. But where do you go after this grand final, win or lose? How do you set yourself up for next year? You're obviously looking to build on the success you've had this year. Is it recruiting more players? Is it trying to build from within? What's sort of the plan moving forward for Deer Park?
Yeah, the pleasing thing is virtually all our players that will be playing on Sunday have committed again. So they'll be all sticking around. And then we'll have a major focus on trying to build, we're in Division 2 and 3, so trying to build those teams up. Our goal is obviously to get back into Division 1, our second team. So, that's going to be a goal over the pre-season. And if anyone does come, good and well, but, again, they'll have to fit the right sort of character that we're trying to look for. And so far, we've done that really well.
Yeah, awesome. Appreciate your time, mate. I know it's an early morning for you. Should be just amazing. Look, good luck the weekend. We look forward to seeing you. We look forward to seeing you on the live stream for the first time this season as well. I know your ring makes some noise as well, so it should be a cracker. But good luck, mate.
Yeah, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
JT, we're now joined by the coach of Melbourne, Bryce Young. Bryce, how you going, buddy?
Yeah, boys. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Yourself?
Yeah, we're going to roll.
Obviously, a big game this Sunday. Obviously, something that the club would have been planning for at the start of the year. Obviously, you're going 18 rounds and gone through the finals. Probably a little bit different journey for you guys this year versus last year. You finished fourth, and there was obviously an element of a chance of not even making the finals. How's the club, and I wouldn't say regroup because that's not the right word, but obviously going into that last game and going to the finals under the pump, I mean, you've done amazingly well. What's the theme been around the club, Bryce?
No, we've always just backed ourselves. We got to that last round. We said if we lose, we're just not good enough. We win, we'll go all the way. We're going to prove ourselves. So we've always had that mentality that it's no next week. We win, there is next week. So that's been the goal through the last couple of weeks. Is next week we want to play bowls next week. We're going to win. So that's been about it.
Now, Bryce, I've obviously got an inside line to Melbourne, so I sort of know what happens. But one thing that always strikes me from Melbourne against the other Premier League clubs is the amount of work that goes in before a game. What happens through the week? Talk us through what's sort of been happening with the lads this week, how often they've been training, where they've been training, that sort of stuff.
This week it's preparation as normal. Practice Tuesday, Thursday. We'll be heading out Saturday for a good session, Saturday Arvo. But for Tuesdays, look, a few guys have been out to Dandenong. A couple of guys have been at Port Melbourne on the carpet. A few guys have been up to Sunbury on their carpet as well. So that's the Tuesday. Today we're heading out to Dandenong, most of us. Again, there'd be a couple just going to Sunbury, but we'll do our hit out like normal tonight down at Dandenong, and we've got our team dinner again like normal on Thursday nights. We like to have dinner together, and again we'll do that on Saturday. So it's a tight-knit group. We like to do things all together.
Bryce, last year, obviously, you were probably far more consistent as a team, in terms of where you finished at the ladder and obviously what followed in the final series afterwards. This year, probably a little bit of inconsistency. What's the difference? And then when you do get at your best, which is very, very good. How does that come about?
Yeah, look, as the last 3-4 weeks, we've made a couple of little changes. We've made a little moves in different rinks and a couple of positional changes. And over the last 3 weeks, it seems to really click. Everything is really, really showing out. Like when we are at our best, we are hard. And once, as Kay said, we make a bit of noise and we get going, it's hard to stop. So we just got to get that momentum going. But yeah, it's just those personnel changes that we've made that have really made things really click as of the last month.
Did that coincide with Jimmy going out of the side too?
Just between you and I, yes.
We have a funny form, although Maury did pretty well while I was in it, so I'm not taking any blame.
Hey, Jimmy, not everything's about you, mate. Everything's about you.
So back to back, mate, that's obviously the main aim for Sunday. It hasn't been done for a while. It's hard to do. How's that going to feel if you manage to get that on Sunday?
Oh, it's going to be great. It's one thing that did get spoken about that not many clubs have done back to back. I think maybe Altona might have been the last one by memory. And I've spoken to a couple of those people, and they said it's one of the best feelings they've had was to go back to back. And that's really what I've really spoken about the last couple of weeks is, do we want that back to back? Do we want to have that feeling? And the feeling in the group, everybody wants it. It's everyone wants to go that back to back.
My last question, Brycey. Obviously, Deer Park, influx of players, and other clubs are trying to replicate it some way or another. Has Premier Division improved this year by some of those clubs going out and being a bit proactive in the recruiting space?
Oh, absolutely. Again, we've spoken about it. I think every side's improved. Even the sides that got relegated, even going up against them, it wasn't an easy game. It's everyone's recruited well. It's actually been a phenomenal sort of season. I don't think we've had it this strong for a very long time. It's good. It's in a good spot right now. And from what I've spoken about with Jimmy, I think it's going to be bigger and better next year and even years on. So no, it's really good.
Good stuff, mate. Look, good luck for the weekend. See you there. Can't wait. Come on the D's.
Yeah, hopefully you got your D-shirt on.
Not this year, mate. I got trouble left. All right, buddy. We'll see you Sunday.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Brycey.
boys.
Thanks, mate.
Take it easy.
How good was that, Josh? I think this is shaping up to be a grand final for the ages. You tipping Deer Park?
Absolutely. I made the prediction at the start of the year. I got a little bit of criticism for telling them to check their egos through the door before round one, but that was done in a good way in terms of if they had the balance right and got their sides right, they were going to be very hard to beat because the players have picked this throughout the year and even pick up Alex Marshall, into the season. It's shaped them up to be a very strong team to beat, and as long as they can get their combinations right, that's come to fruition. But Melbourne is the defending champs for a reason, and their players are jam-packed full of talent, so it is shaping up to be a great weekend. I do concur with you. I do think it's going to be a close one, but I'm giving Deer Park the edge in the grand final.
I'm obviously going Melbourne, mate. I think we're a big game team. I think they'll rise to this occasion, similar to what they did against MCC last weekend. 20-odd shots down, came back and ran over the top of them to win by 10, and I tipped them to win by 10 prior to the start of the game. So stick with me for predictions, all right? Look, if you're free and available, please get yourself down to Dandenong Club on Sunday for the final. It's a fantastic venue. You haven't been there before. If you have been, you'll know. Food will be on, bar will be open. It'll just be a great spectacle. There's seats all around the green, so make sure you get down to Dandenong. A big thank you to them for hosting these games for us. They've got their own final series going on at the moment. They've got two sides still alive in the semi-finals of the Division 2 final, so they're going gangbusters at Dandenong. We also thank BCIB, who are our Metropolitan Pennants partner for the year. They'll be there to present the flag at the end of the day on Sunday to the Divi 1 and Premier winners. And also thanks to Moama, who without Moama, our streaming wouldn't have been possible this year. It's been a terrific year to follow Premier League from start to finish. We've all got a really good insight into the bowls that sort of happen at that level, and it's been fantastic. And we couldn't do that without Moama. So thank you so much. It isn't the end for BVTV. We're going to do another show next week. We'll preview the region sides. We'll try and stir a few people up leading into that weekend, which is good. We'll make some predictions as we always do. We've got some live streaming coming from Moama and Chuka for the region sides as well. So look forward to that. JT, let's go win some games at Country Week, mate.
All right, Jimmy. Shout out to everybody. Hope everyone is playing the grand final. Do their best, and all the best everyone around the state.
Take care.